how quickly they're going to be going up front and where everybody's positioned based on that fast pace.
It's going to be interesting because I remember Mike Smith obviously saying that Arrogate has had issues coming out of the gate in the past, and when he was going into the Traverse and in the Pegasus World Cup, I asked him how could that pose as a problem drawing the rail post position. It obviously applies to this race as well, and he said he actually likes it. It kind of, Arrogate pumps himself up when he's the first to load into the gate, so we'll see what happens, but I'm with you. He's going to have to get out of there, but I would imagine that Collected's probably just going to go after the lead from the outside post position.
You see very little room for error behind the gate. Very tense moments there, but professionals, all of them, as they enter, let you listen in to the load and the call. Trevor Denman and the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Gun Runner will be second last in the white cap. Gun Runner coming forward. Pavel goes up. Pavel moving in. Collected and Martin Garcia to complete the lineup. Collected goes in. They're all set for the $6 million Breeders' Cup Classic. There's the roar from the Del Mar crowd as the Classic field sent on their way. Arrogate broke inwards and is going to have to tuck in behind the leaders. Gun Runner came away beautifully in the white cap and gets the lead. Collected joins him on the outside. They set a solid early pace. Racing behind that, Mubtahiz, Churchill races between horses. West Coast in the pink on the outside, 5 of them tightly grouped. 3 back to Pavel in the 6th position, and then comes War Story. Now here's Arrogate, 4th last. Arrogate's giving them a good 8-length start into the turn. Genevera's in behind that, and War Decree races back 2nd last. Win the Space brings up the rear, 15 off the leaders. They head on to the backstretch in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and Gun Runner got a fairly easy lead out here, Collected up alongside. They're not flying though, just taking them along a good pace. It's 2 lengths back to Churchill in 3rd, and West Coast on the far side is racing in 4th. Right in behind that comes Mubtahiz. War Story in the green colors, then comes Pavel Junivera. In behind Junivera comes War Degree, Arrogate. Ooh, Mike Smith's wanting to ask him a little. Arrogate is last of the leading group. Arrogate's got about 9 lengths to make up at this stage. 4 back to win the Space. They run into the far turn, and Gun Runner goes on, and Collected on the far side. These two dominate. Gun Runner, Collected. It's 4 back to West Coast, who's been chased after them. In behind that comes War Story. Arrogate is a long, long way back and not doing anything. Top of the lane now. Gun Runner along the inside. Collected right up alongside. It looks like we're in for a classic in the Classic. An 1/8 of a mile to go. Gun Runner digs deep. He finds more. Collected. West Coast running on 3rd, but Gun Runner the advantage. And Gun Runner is starting to draw clear the final 16. And Gun Runner, a superb performance in the Classic. Gun Runner won it by about 2.5 in the end. Collected a very game 2nd. West Coast was 3rd. Then came War Story. Arrogate never involved. Gunavera a long way back to Churchill. Behind Churchill was Mubtahiz. And then came War Decree, Pavel, and Win the Space.
Gun Runner wins the Breeders' Cup Classic in gate-to-wire fashion, and Florent Giroux with the biggest win of his career on a horse that, Tom, you said is now champion.
What a performance by the 5 Gun Runner. He took everything Bob Baffert could give him. Collected did just what we suspected was the spy that pushed him early. They went super fast, and any normal horse would have caved in under those pressure results. Gun Runner just keeps going. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Horse of the Year, Gun Runner.
I'm speechless after that performance. There was no way that I thought that Gun Runner and Collected were just going to keep on coming down the stretch. You and I, Tom, were saying West Coast has got to catch them here, but Gun Runner, he found a 2nd, he found a 3rd win. They went so fast, 22 and change, 46 and change, going 1.25 miles on this track, and he kicked away from Collected.
And let's not forget, this is on a track that was not playing favorably to the front end today, and to the rail.
To the rail, especially, and he was down on the inside the entire race.
Collected, a true 1.25 mile horse himself who loves this racetrack and was on top of his game ran a gallant race in defeat. Looked as if he had a shot and had Gun Runner pinned in, and then he just fires away.
And Arrogate, we kind of saw him, we did not see him brake well at all. He broke poorly. He was down on the inside. It looked like he was shifting his gears a little bit, and Mike Smith just didn't get anything out of him today.
No, Arrogate just didn't show up. That's
Right.
the bottom line, and that's the funny thing. Practice is practice, but the real thing is a different situation, and with Arrogate, it just wasn't there for him today.
Your unofficial winner of the Breeders' Cup Classic is sired by Candy Ride, who stands at Lane's End Farm. Huge victory for not only Lane's End and the team at Three Chimneys, as well as Ron Winchell, but a big victory for Candy Ride with this win by Gun Runner.
And a big victory for Florent Giroux, who really is one of the top riders in the entire country, and I think today he showed it.
He absolutely.
Guts. I mean,
yeah.
think of the guts it took for him to do what he did today, but he knew what he had the whole time underneath him, and I'm sure right now he's giving all the credit to Gun Runner, which is what you should do. He's the athlete. He's the one that did it. Wow, is all I can say.
He knows Gun Runner more than, well, I wouldn't say more than Steve Asmussen, that's for sure, but the confidence that he showed on this horse, and oh my gosh, that was an amazing performance.
Well, it's interesting because Steve talked a lot, and Florent as well, about one of the keys in figuring out Gun Runner's best game was allowing the horse to do what he wanted to do. If he wanted to go to the lead, go to the lead. If he wanted to settle, it was fine to settle, and he has shown some versatility in that regard. Though it seems his most powerful performances have been when he's been on the front.
Yeah, and that's the difference between this year and last year. Last year they were trying to make him rate. This year they just let him be, well, to use a cliche, they let him be Gun Runner. And by being Gun Runner, that means letting him roll. And he can roll for a long, long time, and he can roll better than anybody else.
5-11, 8-4, and the one, Arrogate, did manage fifth, but certainly not the Arrogate we were hoping for. A dead heat for fifth. We'll wait to find out who that is with, but at one point it didn't look as if you'd even see Arrogate at all in there.
There you go.
But
And that's a happy guy right there in the back of Gun Runner, Florent Giroux. And he knows it. He knows it's the horse.
he was exceptionally calm all week, while everyone else around him was very nervous. He was very confident in the horse and has said that all along. And also about the 1.25 miles, said he thought it was funny that people felt that there was an issue, because nothing the horse has ever done has suggested to him this season that the 1.25 miles would be any problem.
Looks like we have a dead heat for fifth between Arrogate the 1 and Gunavera the 9. So that's your fifth place finisher, a dead heat there.
And Scott Blasi with some high fives as well as he greets Florent. We await our Twin Spires payouts with, again, Gun Runner, the official winner of the Breeders' Cup Classic. And as we watch the celebration going on, we should take a moment, waiting the prices, to thank our hosts here at Del Mar, as well as everyone connected with the Breeders' Cup, and a cast of thousands that have been involved in this whole production, the Players Show, presented by RTN. Adequan, the official equine wellness partner of the Breeders' Cup World Championships, of course, our friends at Twin Spires, DRF, all making this coverage possible.
My hat's off to the guys behind the camera, on the other side of the camera, and the production crew that put it together. True pros. Man, things went well today, didn't they?
It takes a team effort to pull off a weekend like this, and everybody put their best foot forward, and I think that you're right. I mean, this has just been a tremendous weekend here, and Del Mar has been a great host for the Breeders' Cup.
Absolutely. Track and city.
It's now official. You see our Twin Spires prices. Will be right back after a short break.
Grade 1 winner Lee traveled the world competing against the best of his generation. A graded stakes winner on both dirt and turf, he set a new track record in the Grade 1 Don Handicap and retired with earnings of more than $2.3 million. With his much anticipated first foals hitting the ground this year, the sky is the limit for this promising young stallion. Lee at Claiborne Farm.
For the $6 million Breeders' Cup Classic. There's the roar from the Del Mar crowd as the Classic field sent on their way. Arrogate broke inwards and is going to have to tuck in behind the leaders. Gun Runner came away beautifully in the white cap and gets the lead. Collected joins him on the outside. They set a solid early pace. Racing behind that, Mukhtar Hees, Churchill races between horses. West Coast in the pink on the outside, 5 of them tightly grouped. 3 back to Pavel in the 6th position, and then comes War Story. Now here's Arrogate, 4th last. Arrogate's giving them a good 8-length start into the turn. Genevera's in behind that, and War Decree races back 2nd last. Win the Space brings up the rear, 15 off the leaders. They head on to the backstretch in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and Gun Runner got a fairly easy lead out here, collected up alongside. They're not flying though, just taking them along a good pace. It's 2 lengths back to Churchill in 3rd, and West Coast on the far side is racing in 4th. Right in behind that comes Mukhtar Heej. War Story in the green colors, then comes Pavel Junivera. In behind Junivera comes War Degree, Arrogate. Ooh, Mike Smith starting to ask him a little. Arrogate is last of the leading group. Arrogate's got about 9 lengths to make up at this stage. 4 back to win the Space. They run into the far turn, and Gun Runner goes on and Collected on the far side. These two dominate. Gun Runner Collected. It's 4 back to West Coast, who's been chased after them. In behind that comes War Story. Arrogators a long, long way back and not doing anything. Top of the lane now. Gun Runner along the inside. Collected right up alongside. It looks like we're in for a classic in the Classic. An 1/8 of a mile to go. Gun Runner digs deep. He finds War Collected. West Coast running on 3rd, but Gun Runner the advantage. And Gun Runner is starting to draw clear the final 16. And Gun Runner, a superb performance in the Classic. Gun Runner won it by about 2.5 in the end. Collected a very game second. West Coast was 3rd. Then came War Story. Arrogate never involved. Gunavera a long way back to Churchill. Behind Churchill was Mukhtar Heej. And then came War Decree, Pavel, and Win the Space.
Chris Lee, you got me? Joe, you got me? Runner to make the presentation. Juan Carlos Capelli of Longines, also Fred Hertrick of the Breeders' Cup, the chairman, and to make the actual presentation, actress Elizabeth Banks.
Congratulations on the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Thank you. So happy to be here. It's an unbelievable race. I was a little worried, but he got it done.
Ron Winchell, take me through the emotions. You're watching Gunrunner come off the far turn, head and head with Collected. Once he put him away and started to draw off, describe the emotion.
The emotion right prior to that was he's going too fast, and I was a little worried. So when I saw him pulling away, it's an unbelievable feeling.
How confident were you coming in? The storyline was that Arrogate could bounce back and that he was last year's Breeders' Cup Classic winner and at one point the top-ranked racehorse in the world. How confident were you coming in with Gunrunner?
Actually, I was very confident coming in this race, but sitting there throughout the day, the confidence diminished quickly. So I'm happy to be holding this right here.
How does that sound? Ron Winchell, Breeders' Cup Classic winning owner. Gunrunner rolls Randy Moss in the 34th Breeders' Cup Classic.
Well, Jerry, one reason why.
An actual review of Funner, California, dubbed over a kung fu movie.
The rooms there are the best.
I fell in love with the hot tub and spent hours floating.
Awesome! At night, they have live bands while you swim.
The beds are so comfortable. It's paradise.
Funner, California.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.